Check.
Right?
Check.
Go live. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to talk about what the video is about. So this is Live with CT, our AI queen.
I don't know where that. I've been adopted that name or grant. Like what did they call? Bestowed that name.
Right? Like, okay.
It's
This
one of
is
those things where you say, "What do people like? What are you known for? What would people say about you?" That would never have come into my vocabulary. But when I ask people, that's what they say.
you're like, that's not what I wanted, but we're going to go with it anyway. All right. And let's see here. It says live, but on my Facebook group, I'm not seeing it. Let me make sure that it is set up properly. Oh, and I'm also going live on Instagram for the first time. I don't quite know if it's going live, but I set it up. So we'll find out, won't we?
We will.
I know, right? Okay, are
Everything's
you?
an experiment.
It is. It is. It's a fun experiment. Are you seeing it live on
I'm
live?
not seeing it on my Facebook, but I
Okay.
can go to one of your pages to see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it live on. Okay, come on. Is it even going live? It says it is.
I don't see it yet. Let me refresh. I know
Well,
the button says it's live recording.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am seeing it on my Facebook profile. And I'm seeing it. Yes, now let me set it to edit audience, public. There we go. All right, now it's live on my Facebook profile. Now, let's see if it's live on yours. And then on my group, on my Facebook group, why is it not going live on my Facebook group? Sorry, y'all. Just bear with us while I add something here. All right. Live stream destinations. It's not letting me go live in my Facebook group, which is where so many people listen. Okay. And I can't go live with my webcam as well because it's not showing you.
Right.
Okay. All right. Complete post connected. I already did complete post details. I did that too. Post in group. Maybe if I go to my page. Right? We got anybody on listening to us?
Oh, I see you. 4 minutes ago, it started live on your page.
Okay. All right. Edit live video.
So it's okay if it's not live on mine. I can always share, but I can see us. Hi, everybody.
Yay! Yay! Now, like, I'm trying to figure out. think once I've already started, it won't let me go live on my Facebook group. So I'm just going to post in the Facebook group. I'm going to go there and tell everybody to just hop on over. To my profile.
Click on your name.
Okay. All right. So I want to welcome everybody. Did you ever figure out CT if it was live on yours?
Yeah, it's I'll share. I won't try and figure it out.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, because sometimes what happens is with mine, it's only going live to me. It's not going live to anyone else except for me. So I have to figure out how to set that up. But anyway, I want to welcome y'all back today to my favorite days of the week, and that is my Feel Good Sales podcast. Y'all, I've got some amazing guests, and today is absolutely no exception, of course. I want to welcome CT Tarbox. She is the guru of AI. This is going to be a seriously cool episode for y'all. CT is here to introduce us to the future. I hope y'all are ready. So, we're going to be talking all about AI and more specifically AI twins. So, if you don't know what that is, stay tuned. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a digital version of yourself doing all the heavy lifting in your business? Well, that's what this is going to be all about. And of course, I'll be asking CT my two favorite questions. What's your favorite part of the sales process? And how do we do that? So I want to welcome you, CT. Would you like to add anything to that intro?
No, that's awesome. I wouldn't say the guru though. There's plenty of gurus out there that know AI, but I think where people have maybe coined that for me is those that are trying to use tools like ChatGPT and they're not getting the results that they want, then I definitely can be seen as the guru in their eyes about how to make it sound like them, create their twin, get more out of it. So really focused on the early stage entrepreneurs who need that leverage, and AI can definitely be that.
And I think maybe where you're getting that from is that we think it's easy to use. It's like it's just chatting with someone and it's figuring it out. But it takes a skill. It really does. It takes a skill, and it takes knowing how to format your prompts, but it also takes just experimenting, just getting out there and doing it and not being afraid of what you're doing. So one of the questions actually that I ask all my podcast guests is, what letters of the feel good sales process do you fit into? So I have everything in an acronym: feel good. And I know I sent you the list. Did you pick your letters?
I did, and it's funny the ones that I picked. It's L&D, and from the corporate world, people when they say and hear L&D, it's learning and development. And I spent over 25 years in learning and development, so I don't know if that's a coincidence or what that is, but I picked L&D for my letters,
which is leverage and link and delight and deepen. Awesome. So leveraging those connections, leveraging those tools, right?
Yeah.
Linking, let's see, was it linking the leveraging part or the linking part of it?
Probably more of the leveraging of the audience,
Okay.
other people's audience, leveraging tools, leveraging connections. Yeah.
All right. And then we have delight and deepen. Yes. I love that. I've often said that I think all my guests should be a D.
Well, and I
And
think it's the deepening of, creating fans. I think when I started my business, I went right into, oh, let's make sales. And I think that's the false narrative. They're like, oh, anybody can start an online business, which is true. And it's easier now than it ever has been. And I went the tortoise route. So I really, instead of investing right away into ads, and I really developed a meaningful relationships and a loyal fan base. So now when you talk about sales, for me, I've gone the long term and really spend time warming up an audience. So when I have an offer, it's hot and they're ready to buy rather than, trying to buy to a cold audience.
I that is so spot on. And that's one of that's like probably the biggest tenet of the feel good sales process is you have to be known. People have to know what you're doing. You have to have fans. And I love that you put it that way because when I first heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, to have fans, what do you mean I have to have fans? Well, you have to have people who know what you do, okay? You have to have people who will just keep coming back to you. And the way to do that is through marketing. Plain and simple. You have to
Mm,
get the word out there. And that's basically what the feel good sales process is all about. It's all about marketing. I just call it that because it sounds a lot more fun than marketing.
yeah.
But you have to get the word, you have to get the word out there. I'm going to check on my phone. I'm going to check my profile and see what's going on. Um, so, um, so yes, delight and deepen. And also, when you have those clients, once someone has bought something from you, it's a lot easier for them to buy something else.
I hear that all the time and I really appreciate that. And what really helps me in this whole process is people sell for me. I don't have to sell. So they're when you have raving fans, they're doing all the work for you. They're just like, you just got to go to CT. You just got to go to CT. You need your twin. You need to go to CT. So, and I'm not. It wasn't overnight. It was a good probably year investment. Well, because AI is relatively new, anyways. What we're a year in,
Yeah.
2020.
To
Yeah.
chat
So
GPT. Yeah.
um but during that time and I it was it's I was curious because I'm a deep thinker, and you think about all of these other tools that people are using and how quickly people came out saying, oh, they know AI, they know ChatGPT, but it's so early on that no one can be a guru. But like what you were saying, Michelle, I enjoy that. I don't think people should be spending all of their time trying to figure out prompt engineering or trying to figure out how to write the prompt or how to get the result or do all of the research. I enjoy that part. So for me, it's saving the time. So you don't have to add another hat to your sales, marketing, operations, customer service, branding, all of the things that you come in as a entrepreneur thinking, oh, I just get to be great at what I do. No, you got to wear all these other hats. And so then AI is another hat. So, but, but here's the kicker. If you let AI and you really learn and you really create your AI twin, then you can wear all of those hats, but because you've got that assistant working for you.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And the other day, I was thinking these thoughts just pop in my head or something. So I would love to, as part of maybe like I don't know, a separate module or something in my course, or you can think about this. It's like uh, uh, having an AI, having AI as your VA, okay, as your virtual assistant. until you can afford an actual VA. Okay. I love VAs. They are fantastic. But when we're just beginning, so many, you can't afford it. Okay. You just can't spend that extra 500 to 2000 to how much ever you're going to pay your VA a month.
Yeah.
Let AI do it. Okay. Let AI be your assistant until you can afford a VA, because it will bring you next level.
And I think when you're starting out, and this isn't true for everybody, but I have found it to be true for most, how you start your online business or your digital business isn't where you end up. So you're going to spend a lot of money on branding, marketing, websites, social graphics. And I started in my passion with neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, right? And I started teaching storytelling and communication. And that's where I was headed. And I invested all of the money, all of the social media managers, the graphics and everything. And then AI came about, and then it truly opened up because now I combine the two, right? Effective communication and storytelling inside ChatGPT. But I didn't figure that out until actually I got into the game, right? And so if you really know for sure 100%, like this is it, this is what I'm doing, then go for the investment. If you're like for me, oh, I kind of liked website development. Oh, I kind of liked Facebook ads. Oh, I kind of like Facebook Messenger. Oh, I kind of like, and I dabbled for the longest time. And then I landed a couple years doing NLP, and then AI hit the market, and then it brought me right back to the tech, which now using AI to create websites, content management, all of those things is so easy. So you can afford to change your brand real quickly. You can change, anyways, don't get me started. I'll go on a rant, but
No, I love where this conversation is headed, and it's like completely different from what I thought it would, but it speaks loudly to don't be afraid to do something different. Okay, you are going in completely opposite direction, NLP to AI, and you completely shifted your business model, okay, because you were not afraid to experiment and to pursue what you love. And if you listen, I think it's episode 4, Trisha Dyka, she was like, do what your purpose is, y'all. Do what you love, okay? And she can help y'all find it, all right? So yeah, that speaks so clearly to what she was saying and to what I've been saying in the podcast is, if give something a try, okay, give it a go, but don't be afraid to incorporate something else. Don't be afraid to do something new, and use AI. I have used AI. So I've taken CT's her your AI twin workshop, and holy cow, did I learn a lot. I thought I knew AI. No. I learned so many cool things. So I've been using what CT taught, to develop things and to have chatty. That's who I use. I use Chat GPT to have chat help me develop the new workshop that I planned, to have my show notes. Oh my goodness. I will upload the transcript. It's so easy. I'll upload the transcript and say, okay, help me, create the show notes. And then I'll say, okay, here's my voice, use my voice. Okay. So here's an example of my writing. Use
Yep.
my voice, and then I'll edit it, and then that's it. But it makes it so much easier. Uh, okay, so let's get back to the questions.
Yep.
To the I guess the second question. Obviously, we know, what is your favorite part of the sales process?
I had to think about that. And then again, this is like the discovery part. I love live workshops. And it didn't take me a long time to realize that. I always knew that, but I tested all of the different marketing. funnels and tactics and ways to lead generation. And so for me, my sales process is I am part of a network. Most of us are in that. We meet Wednesdays. I've been there for 2 weeks. So it's leveraging someone else's audience, but not just going in there and taking. I give a lot to that audience as well. And that's where that brand loyalty and support and really building a following. So I'm there supporting that network, but in return, people are getting to connect with me and I bring them to my free workshop, which you've been to, and it's what people would pay for. But I offer it for free because I think everybody should learn the 3 Ps of ChatGPT. You got to prime it, which means you got to give it the information about you, your business, your voice, your writing, your words. You've got to prompt it correctly. And then you always got to give it the persona. So the 3 Ps, priming, prompting, and personas. And I give all of that away in the 2-hour workshop so people can walk away knowing how to use ChatGPT at a completely different level. But then the next step is creating your AI twin. So I go from investing in a network and building a following and community and give. I invite people to my free workshop. From my free workshop is where people are invited to get their AI twin created. And that just, now I'm refining that process. So I was struggling with some of the other letters, like the whole optimize. So I have that program now, and now I'm optimizing it. So I do have a VA, and we are scheduling monthly sessions now. So we're getting it into a sales system. But I'm ready for that now. Everything else before was an experiment. It was a proven experiment. I could post, I could get people to the workshop, and then I could convert them to the twin. And then beyond the twin, I have a private accelerator mastermind. So it's proven. So now I'll invest in optimizing that process. So that for me is the fun part, the experimenting. And okay, so I'm like, okay, great, it's working. Now we get to streamline it.
Yes. And it's, did you do live workshops before last year? Okay,
Yeah.
so you've always kind of incorporated live workshops. Yeah, it's something new for me, and it's fantastic for coaches. I'm trying to think, like, how can someone, and you can even go live, I guess, do a live workshop with your product. So if you're a product-based business, you could also do live workshops.
Yep.
You could demonstrate how to use one of your products or something. You could have people get on who've used your product and talk about your product.
Yep.
So it can be used, live workshops can be used throughout.
So I'll tell you one one technique that I use that really helped. I had a co-working group, an accountability group from a coaching program that I was a part of, and there was 4 of us. And they became my workshop attendees for everything that I experimented with. So I always had 4 people attend. And they're always continued to come into my paid things for free because they invested so much. I mean, they got to learn too. So it was reciprocal. But if I would suggest, if you could find 1, 2, or 3 people that want to, because I needed the interaction. For me, I needed that. And that's why live workshops are so important. So not pre-recorded webinars, not showing up live in a Facebook group. Comments are there, but it's not the same for me. So for me to work, I need the interaction, like a podcast. I could never do my own podcast, but if somebody invited me to have an interaction. So I think, Michelle, it's really a deep understanding of who you are and how you operate, and then exploding that.
Yeah. So that does bring up a good point. Like, what's the difference between a live workshop and going live? When you have a live workshop, it's more like a Zoom recording, and you've got maybe, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 100 people, whatever, and you can have them come on and interact with
Yes.
you. Whereas with a live, like a Facebook live, you just really have the comments.
Yeah.
Or the on whatever platform that you're on, you've got those comments.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the difference. And then and we talked a little bit about how to implement how can we do that? So like, do you have any like pointers of like how can we start doing? How could somebody use chat to maybe come up with their first workshop?
That's a good question. It really depends on the person. I would start a brainstorming conversation with ChatGPT. If people don't know, this is the best way to do it. On your phone, if you download the ChatGPT, it's this one. You have to
Okay.
go the black and white, the official OpenAI one. There is a talk feature.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, right there. It's for the plus users though, paid users. Otherwise you can use your voice transcription, but it's a two-way conversation. So I would be, and if you don't have it, here's the prompt. ChatGPT, I want you to be a business coach, lead generation strategist. I want to develop a workshop for my audience. Prime it. Here's my business. Here's my audience. A little bit to know about me. I want to brainstorm workshop ideas. Then I would put in, I want to do a Facebook Live where the comments are my jam. I want to do a Facebook workshop or a workshop in Zoom where I invite people. I want to do a recorded webinar. So depending on the format, ChatGPT will give you different responses and different approaches and different ideas. So that's how I always encourage everybody to start is you just asked the question. Well, take that exact question that you have and in any format. Don't even worry about prompt engineering or put it, just speak it. But the key is tell ChatGPT that it's ramble. It's a brainstorming session. Like you're just going to go blah. And then it tells it, okay, I've got to try and make sense of what it is that she's trying to achieve. And then if you always ask, you can even say, ChatGPT, I have no idea. I have this thought. I have this an idea. Now, can you help me ask me questions so I'm clear? And then ask me questions so you're clear. So it's this dialogue that you can have. And that's the benefit of the generative AI tools. They're conversation tools.
Yes, I love that. I'm just getting so excited
Yeah.
listening to you explain the process and then comparing it to my own process as well. I I'll say, chat, here's a word dump. Okay, can you make sense of this? So I will just type out my idea and I will just type it and type it and type it. And that's what I did with my workshop was I got on and I just typed out every single thing I could think of. And
Yep.
some people use that as a brainstorming method, and that's what I do. Or you can record yourself
Yep.
just doing a brain dump. Okay.
Yep.
It's a great way to brainstorm and then upload it. You can upload documents to Chat GPT, or you can just cut and paste. So
Right.
that's kind of what I do. I'm going to have fun next time and use the more interactive.
Yes. And can I give this is a pro tip.
Yeah.
Okay. So get that going. Have to start the conversation. Have you heard of the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy?
I Maybe you might have
Okay.
introduced it. Yes, the blue
Okay.
ocean strategy. Okay.
So the Blue Ocean Strategy or the Purple Cow marketing method, but basically it's take what everybody else is doing and find a trigger that's complete opposite. So you don't even need to know this. You can be like, go into ChatGPT. I heard someone say I should use this concept of the purple cow or blue ocean. So you could then charge ChatGPT to help you pull a lever that's opposite of what everybody else is doing to help you be distinguishable.
That is fantastic. That's fantastic. That's a great way to come up with new ideas. When ChatGPT first came about, I remember telling people who were afraid of it, it's like, just think of it this way that you're basically tapping into the universe. Okay. You're
Yes.
tapping into so much knowledge. Use that. Okay.
Yes.
Just use it to come up with ideas. Yes, our brains are brilliant, okay? And 2.0 it there. Don't be afraid of chat. Don't be afraid of chat. I don't know if you want to address that, like, but I know you've heard it before, and I won't put you on the spot there, but we still get those posts that Chat GPT is evil, that it's demonic, or I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation, right?
I okay, so if it is the end of the world, if it is any of these things, it's here. We can't stop it. But on the flip side of that, I'm truly passionate about seeing people work less. And AI is going to make that happen. AI, in my firm belief, is going to make humanity actually have a better existence because we don't have to work the 50, 60, 80 hours. We don't have to rely on a 9-to-5 job to make $100,000 in a year. That's above average in the US, right, of what people make. So we can use the AI tools to actually be better humans. It teaches you to be a better communicator. it will expand your knowledge and your awareness. I choose to see how it. So first of all, I've accepted that it's here. It's everywhere. The new iPhone 16 coming out, AI built in it everywhere. So so you either need to, and then there's the innovation curve, right? So there's people that are ahead of the curve, which I am. There are people that are adopting it. And then there's always going to be the slow adopters and the laggers. Think of the internet. Think of all the big businesses that never, oh, I don't need a website. We're a product-based company. And then they had to have a website, right? So that's going to be similar, but the AI technology is moving 1,000 times faster than the internet was. You have to adopt so much faster. Otherwise, you're going to be so far behind because there's a new tool, thousands of tools popping up every day. And Microsoft has Copilot. Google they have Gemini and all of their AI workflow built into Google Workspace, right? And now Apple has our AI, and it's so funny. Theirs is not Apple Intelligence, even though it's artificial intelligence. They're calling it Apple Intelligence or AI.
Funny.
Yeah.
What a great play on words there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. And what it also does, in addition to making our jobs so much easier, it also levels us up.
Everybody. So
Yeah.
where it would cost to have a chatbot that actually works on your website to know about you and your business would have costed hundreds of $1,000s in a corporate space. Now, people will still charge $100,000 and do that, but we still have access to the same technology. Whereas before, a solopreneur would never have had the same access to the same technology as Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah, 100% agree. And level up also, like me brainstorming about my workshop. You know, I was frozen beforehand. Like, what do I offer? How do I do this? Just the sheer amount of resources that you have to go through to get it started.
And here's the thing about, for those of us, because most of us are in the digital marketing space, there are disciplines in corporate that the digital marketing space does not leverage. UX design, learning and development, instructional design, growth mindset. There are things that corporate does that the online entrepreneurs don't use. Mm-hmm. So if you have any of kind of awareness, and even if you don't, you can charter ChatGPT to be like, come up with something in a similar discipline that I can apply to this that's really going to help me stand out. And you don't even have to know what it is. I happen to put instructional design and adult learning theories and NLP and copywriting and neuroscience into what I do, like my research and into my prompt engineering. But the door's wide open. So you could even ask ChatGPT, what level of expertise should I add into our conversation to really help me distinguish? For example, Do I want a UX designer? Do I want a learning and development specialist? Do I want, so this is where, when you say you tap into, having a second brain, it's like a mega brain that you now have access, and everybody has the same access.
Yes, everyone has the same access.
Yeah.
But you can also, I know this is it's a concern for people, is that when you use ChatGPT, you're losing your voice. Okay. That's actually where your AI twin comes in, because you're not losing your voice. And it's also prompt engineering, knowing how to engineer those prompts. And there was a huge, let's see, Google did in March, they did penalize, like if you were using Chat GPT just solely for your blog post,
Yep.
there were certain words that Chatty uses, and so there was an update, and it did penalize um, if it did sound, I guess, artificial. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I don't know enough about it. I just do know that there was a huge drop in a lot of platforms, a lot of bloggers that used only AI. So my goodness, I think we could talk forever. This is one of my favorite subjects. I do try to keep these around, 25 to 30 minutes. I thank you so much. I know that people were furiously taking notes, and remember that this is, the podcasts are on all of the podcast platforms. So you don't just have to listen to it live. So I will have it up in the next couple of days, so you can get this in perpetuity. And I love podcasts because you can stop and, and
Yes.
it is a video podcast as well. So yes. All right. Thank you so much. Now, is there anything that you want to tell us about that you have coming up?
Sure. I have my next live workshop for personalizing ChatGPT with the 3 Ps: priming, personas, and prompting. So I'll teach you those 3 key things in a free workshop. It's Friday, September 20th from 3 to 5 East Coast time. Here's the URL: aitwin.vip. aitwin.vip. That's all
That's
you need to
easy.
know.
That's easy. All right. And then I'll also have it in the show notes. And you have those once a month, correct?
Yes.
Fine. All right. Perfect. So if you missed this one, or if you're tuning in at a later date, just know that CT does have those, and it will be the same address, same
Yes.
URL. And also, connect with us on Facebook, connect with me, connect with CT. I'll have all that information. And thank you. I really appreciate everything that we have talked about today. I love AI. I was when Chat GPT came out, I jumped on it. I loved it. So it's always nice to talk to somebody else who loves it as much as I do, and who's not afraid of it, and who knows that we're not losing ourselves in it. But
I think we're gaining. I think we're gaining humanity through it.
I think so too. I think so too. And thank you, everybody. Now I think I mentioned it in in the podcast just a little bit, but uh, um, I've got something special coming up. I've got my own live workshop, but first I want to tell you guys about some upcoming guests. Okay. Next week on Thursday at 11 a.m., all the way from London, England. I'm so excited. I'll be chatting with Laura Chattington about high ticket offers. And then on Thursday, this is super cool for all my BNI peeps. All right. I'm going to have the one and only Ivan Meisner, and he'll be talking about, you'll never guess, networking. So I'm super excited about that. Oh my goodness. And the week after that, this is so cool. I'm going to have a puppet on. right? How cool is that? How cool is that? I'm going to have Alice in Wonder. How cool of a name is that? Alice in Wonder and Cecil. They're going to come on.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Right? I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I'm so excited. She is a TEDx speaker coach. So she's a speaker coach and she's going to come on with Cecil. So I'm super thrilled about that. I've got so many cool guests lined up. I'm so blessed about everyone who's coming on the podcast and everyone who's interested. So anyway, I could just gush on and on about that, but I do want to tell you guys just really quickly about my live workshop that I've got coming up. So, is this you? Let me describe something. You've invested in courses, you've invested in coaches, you've invested in mindset work, but the sales just aren't coming in. All right. You're frustrated and you're wondering why on earth why don't they know about your business? Okay. That's what I'm doing in this podcast. But that's also what I'm going to do in this live workshop I'm having. All right. It's time for a change, y'all. So on Tuesday, October 1st, from 11 to 1, I'm going to be presenting a free 2-hour masterclass. All right. I'll give you the exact steps to build a sales process that not only brings in clients, but it also feels good to you. All right. I'll have the link in the show notes. I don't have it memorized yet. I need to come up with a super easy one like you do, CT. And as ever, I thank y'all so much for joining us. And remember, I say this at the end of every podcast. If your sales process feels good, you're going to make more sales. And when you make more sales, you make more money.
Ditto. Ding, 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 ding.
Right? It's that easy because we all love money. I love money. And yeah, the sales process makes it easy. So I want to thank you, CT, for coming on and for chatting with me and for having fun talking about one of our favorite subjects, AI.
Thank you for having me. It was super fun. I love the interaction. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye, y'all.